You're listening to iCannabisRadio.com.
You're listening to Rev Jeremy
and Georgia
on iCannabisRadio.com.
If you think you have cuter kids than us, think again.
Yeah.
I mean, not like we don't have a kid, just so you guys know. We have independent children who, despite the fact that they're not our children together, like we still have managed to be in the same room and have the cutest children pretty much in history.
Yeah.
I'm about to burp.
So basically what she's saying is, fuck your kids, motherfucker. But
not even
don't
close.
literally fuck your kids, because that's fucked up.
To what I was saying.
No, that's what you were meant to, though. It's like, fuck your kids are ugly, our kids bomb, fuck off.
Our kids being cute does not mean that other people's kids aren't cute. They're just not
as cute. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yep.
And if you doubt us, that just means that we have not spent enough time around your kids. So be thankful.
Right. So today is March 10th, 2014.
'Tis another lovely Monday. And actually, when I was driving around this afternoon, it was the highest temperature I saw in my car all year was 73. And that was
wow.
today. It was lovely. Had the
It's gonna
sunroof open. It is going to snow tomorrow. I'm supposed to go pick up wood from the lumber yard. And had it planned for the last 4 days. And, of course, supposed to get 3 inches in the morning, which is lovely. Kind of a forced day off.
Yeah, right.
So no building tomorrow, but that's okay. That's okay. Wow, it got louder. That was weird. I can step back a little.
Step back.
Step away from the microphone.
Do you know what today is?
The day after yesterday. The real question is, do you know what Friday is? But we'll get to that. So what is today?
Today is my 13th wedding anniversary.
Happy wedding anniversary. Same to you, Warren, sir.
Happy wedding anniversary, babe.
That's awesome.
He's home making dinner for our son.
Nice. Well, I know he's not listening, but you should save some. And we're just going to send a few of us over.
Right.
To grab some.
Right. I know what he's making because he makes things that I don't eat, so they're making burgers. If they don't go out for boys' night.
You don't eat burgers?
No.
You don't eat burgers? You don't smoke weed? You run?
I know, you hate me.
What kind of healthy bullshit is this?
Not today. I just had a whole bunch of French fries from McDonald's, no less. Don't ever go to McDonald's. Like, I don't care if they sue me right now.
Did you skip the burger?
Oh, yeah.
Good. See, then you did all right. The fries, I mean, granted, they don't change state for 10 years, but they're not
disgusting.
bad. But,
no, it's bad. I mean, everything about fast food.
Well, right, but the burger, that's just...
What is it? Is it a burger?
I don't think so, but you might as well eat Play-Doh for all the nutritional value the pink slime burgers that Mickey D's have.
I don't think they have pink slime in them anymore. I think they got rid of that.
I don't know.
I think that they thought that they had to. They got some bad press. Speaking of bad press, watch this segue. So the Denver Post article we're going to talk about in a little bit, talking about the actual THC content in edibles, what they say are in their products versus what tested out as their products, and who did the best and who did the worst.
That'll be interesting. Has that been in the paper?
Oh, yeah.
That was today, so the answers are already out there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
but no one knows but me, because
hot diggity.
Because our listeners don't read all the time. They wait till they get the information from us. Why would they sit down and read the paper?
Why waste
when they
time?
can listen to us?
Exactly.
And do other things at the same time.
Right.
Mop the floor, listen to us.
So
Do laundry, listen to us.
I was going to say something and I forgot. Fuck. Imagine that.
I've missed you. I haven't seen you in 2 weeks.
I know. It's been a while. It's been a long while. This Friday, ladies and gentlemen, is March 14th. Does anybody know what March 14th is besides Jenny's favorite holiday? I know we covered this on Halloween, that Halloween was Jenny's favorite holiday, but this one is her other favorite. I know. What's March 14th? Come on, anybody?
I'm Irish.
No, that's the 17th,
That's
silly.
the 17th, sir.
St. Patty's Day.
That's the 17th. St. Patty's Day is... Oop. I see an answer in the room. We've got half the answer right there.
What is it?
Friday is Steak and Blowjob Day. It's a real holiday. Look that shit up. I mean, it's probably not sanctioned by the government, but...
So yeah, we get mail on Friday.
But you know, can you look it up and whiz around it on through the camera?
Can you Google steak and blowjob day.
Please. There you go. Good push.
Thank you. Took
Good
a little
push.
while. Hurt.
So steak and blowjob
Excuse me,
day
sorry.
is a day for men, where February 14th is a day for women. Women get flowers, chocolates, romance, it's all about women. So March 14th is a holiday created to pay men back. So it's a day where women give thanks to...
God, you guys are jackasses. That's all I have to say is you guys are jackasses.
I suppose, but just remember, all you got to do when you go home on Friday is cook your husband a steak and suck his dick. It's just that simple.
Hey, Dad, I know you're listening to the show, and I just
not.
want to apologize for Jeremy. Steak and BJ Day. Oh, my God, there it is on the cute calendar.
I told you. It really is out there. So it's
Wow.
But,
And that was Jenny's favorite holiday because
she liked to do it, and she loved steak.
So are you going to eat a steak on Friday? Because I know you're not going to get anything else.
Well, you never know. But I'm going to at least eat a steak.
I'm just kidding.
I'm going to at least eat a steak without any pants on.
Just in case.
Just in case. You never know. There might be somebody walking by like, hey, there's a dick. Can I suck that real quick?
Because it's the day.
Well, sure. It is actually steak and blowjob day. I'm eating a steak. There's my penis, please. So, right. So in case you're just joining us, this Friday, March 14th, is Steak and Blowjob Day. It's the alternate to Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is for women. Steak and Blowjob Day, March 14th, is for men. It's for men to receive from women, just as Valentine's Day is for women to receive from men.
I don't like flowers on Valentine's Day or my birthday. Or actually, I get flowers from my dad, and I like that. But I don't like flowers on Valentine's Day.
Well, I can't imagine why anybody entirely would.
Yeah.
One, they're overpriced
Yeah.
for that particular day. And two, here's something that was living and beautiful, but I want you to hold on to it till it's dying and...
Which will be tomorrow.
And just deteriorating all over the desk. Please.
I'd like
Well,
a
thank
plant.
you, honey.
I'd like a plant.
Well,
That
that's
would be-
different, though. That's
yeah.
a living item that
I like
you can
that.
take care of and you can grow and nurture. It's a very loving gift.
I like flowers as a rule. Like I love cut flowers. I grow my own. I cut my own. I put them in my house. But as a gift, I think money can be, especially that kind of money, like flowers, especially in the wintertime, are extremely expensive.
Right. Would you rather have 6 roses or a crisp $20 bill?
Right.
I mean, it's only $20, but fuck your flowers. Give me the $20 bill. I mean, but whatever.
So where are you going to eat a steak? I'm just curious.
No clue. No clue. Although the Tilted Kilt might be a good spot. But it'll be a little harder to eat it there without any pants on because that's
You can wear a kilt.
place, and I have a kilt.
Yeah, that's perfect, right?
I got a kilt at the fucking Renaissance Fair last year. It was brilliant. Jenny
You just
loved
did
it
Scottish
and English.
British. Did you notice how we melded the two?
I did, but
Yeah.
that's because it's all part of the heritage.
So what color is your kilt?
It's not what it should have been, but the one that it should have been, I didn't like. So it's like a dark green, black.
What?
I forget which, because each color kilt represents different
Clan.
clan. And this one, the one that I got was like a Scottish warrior clan one, but it's a darker one that I liked. The one that should have been more fitting for me was Irish, and it was green and white, but it just looked like a sexy miniskirt. And it's like, no. And so I put on the other one. I came back out. Jenny's like, yep. And it's like, oh, I know I'm getting laid in this thing. And so I did, and it was great. It was worth it.
So there you go. I mean, you can wear a kilt, and then if the opportunity arises,
Something will arise.
The opportunity.
I'll just go to the Texas Steakhouse, and I will figure something out. It'll work out that day. I have a feeling.
Ladies, Jeremy is a wonderful, wonderful man. He is sweet and kind and thoughtful and funny, and I got his
don't
number.
aim for the eyes.
I got his number right here. If you're looking, you have to go through me first. I have to ask you some questions. There's a vetting process. If you don't pass my first test,
And I'm damaged.
well, people are damaged.
Well, right, but it's easier if you put on the package damaged contents inside are damaged, and it may have been damaged during transportation or shaken not stirred. I don't know. Fuck, who knows? And sometime later tonight, we're gonna have a special treat for nighttime stuff. We're gonna have two sentence scary story night.
Ooh.
Right. So you wonder, wait a minute, how is it possible that I could actually get scared from 2 measly fucking sentences? It's possible. And I'm not talking scary like pull over, I got a gun, or like this is the cops, open up, nothing. It's no joke. They're just, it's just 2 sentences that if you get to the end, it's sort of like, whoa, fuck.
You have...
Nope.
Test results are.
Test results are in. You have herpes. And you're pregnant. And a wiener. Yeah, no, it's nothing like that.
Nothing like that. Okay.
No, it's good. It's good stuff. So I figure I'll read 3 or 4 of them after each commercial break. So that way, we don't overdo it.
I'm starting to get nervous and excited all at the same time.
There's some creepy shit in there. I mean, especially as a parent. I mean, nothing like, I've got your kid, I'm going to kill him. Nothing like that. But I mean, it's 7-11 now. We've got another 4 or 5 minutes until we get to the first one. I hope people are excited.
So I want to talk about, in between the scary stories and the edibles article that came out in the testing, which there's part of me that laughs because, and it's not funny. I mean, this is all kind of new industry stuff. I mean, yes, people have been making edibles forever, but the idea of making them in commercial kitchens in large batches and trying to get the dosages just right when there never used to be a problem with that. Someone was just like, yeah, that's a great brownie, or nope, that didn't do anything for me. Or, even a couple of years ago where you would have a chocolate bar or something and half of it would hit you like a ton of bricks and the other half had nothing in it because it wasn't activated properly or it wasn't mixed properly and all these kinds of things. And so it's not funny from the perspective of companies are doing their best to get a good product on the market. It's funny because we're now at the stage of this industry development where we demand this high quality. It's not enough that we demand the products. I mean, we've got that. That's been met. You can go to a store and you can buy these things. Now we want to make sure that we're getting what we pay for. And with some companies, you're not getting a quarter of what you pay for. You're not getting 90% of what you pay for. I mean, that's how bad some of this has turned out.
Right.
And there's also, I mean, this sounds bad, but there's also companies that you just have faith in, and you know that they put out a good product, and you don't necessarily know why, but you know that it works for you, or you know that people like it and they're satisfied. And you also know that there's those companies that just you don't like working with them, or you've gotten too many complaints about them, and it's kind of funny that for the most part, these testings, the result of these tests have proven that your gut reaction to a company is probably not a gut reaction. It's probably based on the quality of their product, because some of these folks suck.
Damn, see, now I'm just as curious. I want to hear what I can't wait. I want to hear what some of it, because I mean, I'm sure it names names.
Oh.
And gives some examples.
It not
of
only
some
names
companies.
names, but it names products, specific products that they tested.
Now, I can only imagine, knowing some of the bigger names, that I'm sure that a few different chocolate bars are going to end up popping up in this.
Some chocolate bars did really, really well.
Yeah.
Some chocolate bars did better than what they advertise.
Ooh. Now, I was seeing stuff throughout some of different random posts today that they're talking. Some people were saying that they're hoping that with the crackdown that they're not going to go after people that, it's like, well, your bar says 100 and it's got 107. That's not good.
I think they're going to have to come up with some margin of error, because it's just not an exact science. It's just not yet an exact science, and until it can be. But I think whatever that acceptable margin of error is, the fact of the matter is nobody that was tested spot on. Not a single company tested spot on. There was one company that when they were tested, they were off by 1 milligram. But that was an anomaly in the 10 or so products that were tested. I will say that the worst out of something that claimed to be 100 milligrams when there was a percentage of 1 milligram in the tested amount? Not 100 milligrams, a percentage of 1 milligram.
Wait, so it's supposed to be 100 milligrams.
There was less than 1 milligram in the test results.
Wow. Damn. Oh, it's 7:15. I think we should take a break and come back and find out.
We'll talk a little bit about my favorite sponsor, because I know you're listening, Dad. Well, maybe not after Steak and BJ Day. My dad's no longer listening.
He's like, whoa, fuck this show.
I don't know these people. It's embarrassing. Crazy. I got a movie to watch. But Cuffle Collimore and Company is one of the few insurance companies that offers all of your insurance needs, not just your typical slip and fall and liability insurance and those kinds of things. They can provide crop insurance. So if your crops get damaged or stolen or those kinds of things, you actually can get reimbursed from that. Right now, most policies typically will cover your trimmed material, but not your live plants. And you know what? If someone hurts your live plants, takes them, or your building burns down or whatever.
Or if you're actually walking around eating a steak and you don't have any pants on and something bad happens.
I don't know if my dad has a policy for that, but you can call him.
Well, that's all the more reason to call and get information.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this is a great holiday coming up, folks. You don't want to be laying on a broken plant with your pants down. No,
never. So be sure to call Bob Collimore at 1-800-488-4302 and get an insurance quote. Whether you're in the business or not, he's definitely your man, and he's certainly 420 friendly. That's, again, Cuffle Collimore and Company, 800-488-4302, and we will be right back.
Are you a runner? Are you a runner who supports marijuana legalization? Run on Grass is a group of athletes actively seeking to change our marijuana laws. We speak the truth about cannabis, bringing the message through our feet to new ears. Check out runongrass.com to find out more about us, our events, and how to join up or how to sponsor a runner. If you're in the Denver area, please join us for runs or start a group in your area. Running not your thing? Any sport can do it. On grass. Runongrass.com.
Are you a medical marijuana patient or interested in finding out how to become one? Contact Mile High Wellness, where your care is our concern. Conveniently located on Hamden and Tamarack in the Whole Foods parking lot behind Proof of the Pudding. Mile High Wellness offers a wide variety of edibles, hashes, and some of Colorado's top strains. Mile High Wellness, where your care is our concern. 3525 South Tamarack, Suite 110, on the corner of Hamden and Tamarack. 720-382-8516. Mile High Wellness, where your care is our concern.
Green Faith Ministry is for spiritual guidance, MMJ information, and networking combined with compassionate care on the way to enlightenment with all Green Faith sacraments. Green Faith provides charity assistance, including medical and food throughout the year. Contact them at greenfaithministry.com.
Did you take that off so I wouldn't cheat?
Correct.
I do. I'm a cheater. I'm a bad cheater. Welcome back, by the way. I'm Georgia, and that's Jeremy, in case you were confused.
Right. So
I have less facial hair.
Right. And yep.
That's about it.
That's all right.
You have bigger boobs than me.
I wouldn't go that far. So all right, so we're trying to figure out how it is that two sentences could actually make up a legitimately scary story. And so I have the answers right here. So let's get started. I hope that everybody's got their radio turned up and their lights turned down now that it's a little bit dark outside. Let's get spooky.
Make sure your children are not in the room listening to this, please.
Hold on to your dookie. It's about to get spooky. I was having a pleasant dream when what sounded like hammering woke me. After that, I could barely hear the muffled sound of dirt covering the coffin over my own screams. I can't sleep, she whispered, crawling into bed with me. I woke up cold, clutching the dress she was buried in. I began tucking him into bed, and he tells me, "Daddy, check for monsters under my bed." I look underneath for his amusement and see him, another him, under the bed, staring back at me, quivering and whispering, "Daddy, there's somebody on my bed." You get home, tired after a long day's work and ready for a relaxing night alone. You reach for the light switch, but another hand is already there. I can't move, breathe, speak, or hear, and it's so dark all the time. If I would have known it would be this lonely, I would have been cremated instead. She went upstairs to check on her sleeping toddler. The window was open and the bed was empty. Oh. I never go to sleep, but I keep waking up. And we'll stop after this one. My daughter won't stop crying and screaming in the middle of the night. I visit her grave and ask her to stop, but it doesn't help.
Oh.
So.
Wow, Mr. Happy. Thanks for those.
Well, we're not done. There's other good ones.
Wow.
But we'll wait till after each break and we'll read a couple more.
Okay.
But each one's 2 sentences, and it's like, wow, it's a whole fucked up story. Like, I know what's going on. I've put myself in the situation and I see where the problem is. This is not going well. And it was only in 2 sentences.
It's so interesting when a talented writer puts the right words together, what can happen?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It is quite amazing.
I know what else is scary.
All right, I want to hear this.
Dr. J's edibles. Scary.
Ooh.
Well, only scary if you want to buy something other than chocolate. Because
so if you're going to buy chocolate, if I'm like, fuck, I have a chocolate craving.
Then spend a ton of money on a medicated chocolate.
From Dr. J's?
Right.
Really? So they're the ones that make like those dark chocolate stars. And
yep. Star bars.
The J's and the whatever they call that shit.
Yep.
So I had a couple of friends that swore by those for the longest time.
Well, you should tell your friends to stop swearing.
Well, I don't see them much anymore, but they were hooked on them. Every morning they'd eat them and then they'd just be useless after like 2 hours.
So Dr. J's has done a couple of things over the years, and I mean they've definitely changed their methods and the way that they made their products. And I've heard that from people who have used them, a couple of years ago to now, and it's very different. But so here's the article in the Denver Post by Ricardo Baca, who is the marijuana writer for the Denver Post and has a section called The Cannabist. As one of the largest producers of marijuana-infused edibles in Colorado, Dr. J's hash-infused makes chocolates, caramels, and candies. But many of the company's products contained only a minute fraction of the THC promised on Dr. J's labels, according to independent tests organized by the Denver Post. One of Dr. J's milk chocolate star bars, labeled 100 milligrams of THC, had 0.37 milligrams of THC.
Wow.
0.37. They had Steep Hill conduct the tests. They are a state-licensed marijuana testing facility. Another popular Dr. J's chocolate bar, the 100 milligram winter mint flavor, tested similarly in 2 experiments showing 0.28 milligrams of THC. Now, when I first read it, I actually thought they have when you look in the Denver Post and look at the article, they actually have a graph that shows all of the different things tested and what they were supposed to be and what they tested at. I thought that they made a mistake. I thought that they meant 100 milligrams and then
0.28% of a full 1 gram.
Yeah, that they meant to
2.8%.
do 0.1 and it really only had 0.03 or something like that, as opposed to really it only had 0.3 milligrams, like 0.3 milligrams. But it's not just them. I mean,
that's a decimal point, 3 decimal points on a milligram.
Right.
Right. So try to figure that shit out.
So
now, how much of the candy bar did they test? Did it say?
It didn't.
Because I know when we test hash, you test 0.04. So like 4 cents worth out of the gram, a little teeny tiny, probably that much. And then it's enough just to put over, and then you run your chemicals over it and it tests it. But maybe it's possible that the edible, that just that corner that got scraped off was not mixed in this other part over
which
here.
Which is possible. The rules state now, though, that the product must be homogeneous, that there can't be a part of it that has more or less than the other. That's the rule now.
Is that how all food and things are? The fuck is that? Sounds like a plunger.
I'm sorry, we have a puking dog.
Hey. Oh, that was awesome.
Poor baby goes throw up. Oh, poor baby goes throw up. That's so sad.
I don't even know what that looked like.
Puke. It looked like dog puke. Poor baby.
It just looks like he threw up like wet sand from. Don't eat it. Gross.
Oh, you're okay, Gnu. See, everything can happen on the show. You scared him with your scary stories, and you made him throw up. Poor guy.
There were no dog stories, though. It's okay.
But I don't know what the rules are in general, but I mean, this is certainly you can't compare the almonds in a Hershey's milk chocolate almond bar with a medicated chocolate. I mean, they're just, and especially if you're telling people that you should eat a portion of it, you want to know what that portion is. It's interesting that
French fry.
I didn't do it.
Whoopsie. I'm sorry, Gnu. He must have taken it out of the bag, Chris. Got French fry. Poor boy.
Little fucker. Apparently French fries make him throw up.
No.
Oh, he's allowed to eat his vomit. It's no big deal. So anyway, that was the worst of the worst. So the Incredibles were tested. They had 2 candy bars tested. Let's see if I can find which bars they were. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Let me go back to the Dr. J's. Just so there's no confusion, they tested different candy bars or different chocolates bought in different places. So it wasn't a specific batch that was bad. The batch numbers were vastly different. So they made this as scientific as possible to ensure that they didn't get 2 candy bars from the same place that were made from the same batch, and you could say, oh well, it was the batch's fault. There was 292 batches in between the 2 candies that they tested, and they also bought them in different places. Let's see, Growing Kitchen, their chocolate chunk cookie tested at 101 milligram on a product labeled 100. Right. The Mile High Mint chocolate bar by Incredibles advertises 100 milligrams. It tested at 146.
Holy shit.
So sales for that are going to go through the roof, of course. Dixie Elixirs in their Dixie Rolls, which are sort of like Tootsie Rolls, they tested at 60 milligrams, advertised at 100.
Wait, so which ones again?
Dixie Elixirs, the Dixie Roll.
Ah, okay. That's the comparison one to the Chiba Chew, right?
Exactly. Chiba was tested also. It tested at, supposed to be 70, and it tested at 53. Let's go back to some of the other ones. A company called, let's see, Mile High Candy. They had their watermelon drops. I'm not familiar with this candy company, but they're labeled at 100 milligrams, and they were tested at 17 milligrams. So that was a pretty bad one. There was also Edipure was tested, and I think it was their lemon drops. I got to find it really quick.
Candy's got to be harder because I used to make hard candies, and I know that trying to mix all that stuff equally is not easy. Not easy at all. I mean, you could have a handful of candy, and one of them got, cannabis touched on it, and the other one's never. It's just candy, So you could get another handful of candy that's all where all the cannabis was, and you could eat those and be fucked up for a whole day. And that's what they're trying to avoid. They're trying to avoid people having to play the guessing game. The Edipure ones, I think that they're the ones that they take the
already made candy, the lemon drops that you buy at Sam's Club, and they spray them with a medicated spray.
See, a lot of places just do that kind of stuff. I know another famous company that isn't here in Colorado anymore that sold these great gummy bears that everyone really liked. And he's friends with somebody else who's, it doesn't matter. But all they did was get big bags of the same color gummy bears, melt them down in a pot, and then pour them into molds. But he's hanging out with somebody that's bitching about originality. And it's like, well, you better check out who you're hanging out with, because who you're hanging out with just takes gummy bears, melts them down, and adds weed to them and resells them as his own.
And people like those.
But they're fucking good.
That company
they're really good.
Actually had an item tested. It wasn't the gummies. It was... Hang on, let me check. I had this pulled up, and then on my phone I can't read the chart that has all the tests on it, so I'm going to have to pull it up larger. But that one didn't test. It didn't test horrible, but it didn't test. I mean, none of these are testing close to what they are.
Well, it would take some,
with the exception of the Growing Kitchen.
It would take some good mixing. You know, you'd have to sit there. I mean, with chocolate, you could probably mix it good, you know,
right,
to where
you should
it
be able
blends
to.
in. But with stuff like candies and other things, most people are just trying to whiz through that. And they're not taking the time to really stir it, really take the time. Hard candy, it's hard because you're on a very limited time. You can only fold it and mix it so much.
Yeah.
So that's why smaller batches are
That's
key.
right. So Sweet Stone Candy Fruit Loops, advertised at 50 milligrams, tested at 45. The Chiba Chew Quad Dose tested at 53 out of the advertised 70 milligrams. As we said, the Incredibles tested high. Growing Kitchen's Chocolate Chunk Cookie tested high. Blue Kudo, their cookies and cream chocolate bar, tested at 105, advertised at 100. Edipure Lemon Drops Hard Candy. I mean, one of the things that they pride themselves on is that each item is 10 milligrams. So if you have a lemon drop, that each lemon drop of a packet of 10, each is 10 milligrams. The package tested at 45 out of the 100. So Dr. J's Jelly Stones, their gummy candies, out of 100.2. Their Star Bars White Chocolate out of 105. And then their Winter Mint Chocolate out of 100.3.
How much for the gummies?
Their gummies, 0.2.
Haha, there you go.
0.2.
Fucking A.
Their milk chocolates tested at 0.4. And then the Bang Bars, have you guys ever had the Bang Bars? They make a ice bar, which is mint. They make a fire bar, which is the spice, orange and spice. They're 180 milligrams, and they tested at 156. Not horrible, but again, I mean, if you buy
a box of Girl Scout cookies in 2014 and you get it and you realize that it's actually 3 or 4 cookies short in each package and you get mad, that's what we're talking about.
Right.
When you buy a bag of chips and it's half full of air, same thing.
Only instead of spending $1.19 for a bag of chips or $4 for Girl Scout cookies, you're spending, right now, if you're buying any of these things recreationally, you're spending $20
for 100 milligrams.
And you're getting 45 or
0.2. Right. So like $20 for 2 pennies.
Right.
Like I'll do that deal any day as long as I'm the one dishing out the pennies and collecting 20s.
I know, right? Exactly. So we're going to take a quick break. We will talk about that a little bit more, but also I want to talk a little bit about taxes.
Well, all right. We'll be right back.
The Law Office of Edson, Mayton, and Matz provides criminal defense, family law, medical marijuana defense, and advice about setting up and running a medical marijuana center, optional premises cultivation operation, and infused product manufacturing businesses throughout the state of Colorado. We're focused on providing high-quality service and customer satisfaction. We will do everything we can to meet your expectations. WarrenEdson.com. Edson, Mayton, and Matz in Denver, 303-831-8188, and in Aspen, 970-948-7183. WarrenEdson.com.
High up in the Rockies is beautiful Frisco, Colorado. Medical Marijuana of the Rockies is a medical marijuana center with compassion for Colorado's medical patients. Looking for great meds grown organically in soil? You've come to the right place. Medical Marijuana of the Rockies is just off I-70 at exit 203. Check them out at the web at www.mmrockies.com. Their ever-changing strain and clone selection is updated on the website daily. When making a trip to the mountains, no matter the season, stop by Medical Marijuana of the Rockies. Make sure you say you heard about them on iCannabis Radio. You can call 970-668-MEDS to get more information. Medical Marijuana of the Rockies, your mountain source for meds.
I'm Gary Johnson, and you're listening to iCannabis Radio, and I want to say, talk it up, Colorado.
And we're back.
Hi. Ooh, let's answer the phone.
Good evening.
Hello there. I'd like to put my 2 cents in for the scariest story.
Ooh.
All right.
The scariest story in America is I'm with the government. I'm here to help.
That definitely takes the cake.
You win. I just got goosebumps. I'm not going to sleep
And another thing to remember is BHO stands for Barack Hussein Obama.
Oh, easy there. Easy there.
Are you an Obama
All right.
supporter?
I'll see you later.
Bye. Thanks for
Good night.
calling. I thought my girl Kat was going to call tonight, too. Kat, if you're out there, ring us up.
Well, all right. I guess that was a good lead-in to go with a couple more of these.
Let's hear it. I'm with the government. I'm here to help.
You know that one's going to end bad. After working a hard day, I came home to see my girlfriend cradling our child. I didn't know which was more frightening, seeing my dead girlfriend and stillborn child, or knowing that someone broke into my apartment to place them there.
Ooh.
There was a picture in my phone of me sleeping. I live alone.
Ooh.
I woke up to hear knocking on glass. At first, I thought it was coming from the window until I heard it coming from the mirror again.
Ooh.
See, I like that one because I love mirrors. They're fucked up, scary. The last thing I saw was my alarm clock flashing 12:07 before she pushed her long, rotting nails through my chest, her other hand muffling my screams. I sat bolt upright, relieved it was only a dream, but as I saw my alarm clock read 12:06, I heard my closet door creak open.
Ooh.
Growing up with cats and dogs, I got used to the sounds of scratching at my door while I slept. Now that I live alone, it is much more unsettling. And the last one for this time. In all of the time I've lived alone in this house, I swear to God I've closed more doors than I've opened. Now, when I first read these, I read them at 3 a.m. by myself. And I was like, oh, these are fucking great. As I read them now with the lights on, room full of people, brain doesn't do any wandering. It's kind of nice. It's like, these are nothing.
I don't know. I think they're pretty creepy.
Oh, they are. I mean, read them by yourself in the middle of the night. And then hear some fucked up noise from the neighbor's house. And you're like, oh, shit. I don't know. But anyways. So, the next one's one of my favorite ones on the list. So we'll leave that for...
Okay, we'll get that when we come back.
For next time.
So, the tax numbers came out for the first couple of months, and
did they do February too?
No, they just did January, and it's interesting that I think our governor is, I don't know the right word for it, but certainly we know that he is not for all this cannabis stuff. This isn't his thing. This isn't his deal. But sometimes I think what he says makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, he's projecting tax revenue. First of all, they underpredicted so that they could pass this tax. I mean, let's be honest. They used numbers that were not that. Colorado State University put out numbers that weren't based on actual medical sales. And when the Med released the actual state sales tax later, the numbers were completely and utterly different. And the CSU numbers were very, very low and didn't represent appropriately. And so, the screaming, crying about we have to increase the sales tax and screw people who want to buy marijuana so that we can make sure that we get the most revenue possible. is ridiculous. But now that these numbers have come out and they're so big, the governor in all his wisdom is drawing a conclusion that these numbers are going to be that trend is going to be the trend for the year.
Right. He totally isn't taking into account that the very first month in the United States where it's legal to go into a store and just flash your ID, they look at the date and they're like, all right, you're good, going in. They don't give a fuck who you are. Not going to put you into anything. It's going in. The first month was where it was at.
Right.
February, much calmer. March, probably not much busier than a regular dispensary on a regular day.
Right.
So
right, there'll be ups and downs because I know at MMD today, people came in and they're here on spring break. Spring break has started. They've decided to come to Colorado. They're going shopping and then they're going to go snowboarding, and that's what's happening. So there will be this kind of thing. But you're absolutely right. I know that the governor doesn't come up with all this on his own, but he's got people who talk to him and who are his intelligence, and they're telling him what to say, and they're projecting that they're going to have these astronomical numbers for the entire. That's ridiculous.
Next month they will probably have a banner month that will rival the opening month. But May, June, July, August, there's nothing really that makes those too much more significant. More stores are opening, but next month is going to be slamming.
Well, although, I think you're right because you're talking about 420 and, the sales around 420 are always big. I sort of wonder with 420 being on the same day as Easter, if that is going to, and a Sunday, if that's going to, maybe not, but if it's going to affect sales at all. Are people going to be going crazy on 420? Oh, I hope so.
I would imagine. Start putting out the good ads now. Maybe not now. Wait until it gets closer. But you start snagging people up. Say 420 Easter special.
Everything in plastic eggs.
I was just gonna say, if you get a big barrel and you put a bunch of plastic eggs in there and you throw in discounts, 3%, 4%, 10%, buy one get one free, and like a couple of the eggs, something like that. Everybody that comes in gets to draw one. You get whatever deal's in there. If you get 2% off.
That's what we're doing, Chris.
That's what you get.
Right.
But if you get a buy one, get one free, fuck, it's Easter. Happy
420.
420. I was going to say happy birthday, Jesus, but all the holidays are. What is that? Welcome back to Earth, Jesus. We're looking for eggs.
But the point is that July isn't going to be January.
No.
And October isn't going to be July or January. It's just, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Right. There was opening day and there's 420.
Right.
Those are the two big holidays. It's not what they, they're such a decade behind on everything.
Right.
On all the trends, on all of it. They're so lost. I'm worried about what they're doing with the money that they're trying to add all the new law enforcement. One, when weed was illegal, why was there X amount of law enforcement? And now that weed is slightly more legal, we have to expand law enforcement? So we've taken away criminal penalties to something, so let's add lots more police. What the fuck? Seriously, that's ridiculous. But what really worries me is the money that they're putting towards trying to figure out stoned driving. Hopefully they put money towards quality programs, stuff based in science and research, and this 5 nanogram crap where I was talking to somebody recently and they lost their driver's license for a year. Oh, it was Baker. Said he lost his driver's license for a year because when he was pulled over and they wanted to drug test him or breathalyze him or blood test him or whatever it was, and he refused. And they went to the station, did a blood test or a breathalyzer, and he zeros. Totally fine, but they still are suspending his license for refusal. How can they do that?
Because that's the law.
How can that be a law? So if I refuse to submit to you my fucking DNA because I know I'm not intoxicated, it's none of your fuck you. And if I don't give it to you, you're going to suspend my right?
It's not a right, it's a privilege.
You're going to suspend my privilege? I'm not saying that we condone violent actions, but if police stations were burned down in retaliation to their fucking shitty ass enforcement of bogus bullshit laws, but with no science.
You can't have it both ways. You can't be pissed about drunk driving and then
also
be pissed about or any kind of impaired
drug
driving.
They don't have any science on the driving on weed.
And I don't disagree with that. But until we figure some stuff out, like, people need to be smart.
Well, right, but if you refuse to do submit your blood to an officer, somebody who may not even be a police officer, and then until you're taken to a station where okay, well, I'm in a police building, I can give my here, that's legit. And so they can take away your driver's license because you're not going to give it to a stranger with a weapon on the side of the road? Fuck that. That's insane. I mean, but it's what we asked for in this country or in this state. We said, well, we'll take some legal weed, but we really want you to make everything else harder.
Right. And isn't that kind of what happened?
And that's exactly what happened.
But on some level, we also have to remember that that the things that we want to have happen, can't happen with other things. I mean, people get really upset about smoking in public, and I know that this is going to cause a big controversy at 7:45 at night, but people really want to be able to smoke outside and smoke at the park or whatever. And you know what? You can't drink at the park. You can't. And drinking, in my mind, if I'm drinking at the park, it can't bother you because you don't smell it.
It's just the same as chewing tobacco. It's like, well, why can you chew tobacco inside, but I can't smoke? Well, because you're chewing tobacco, while aromatic, doesn't bother somebody 5 feet away, but your cigarette smoke will bother everybody in the whole building. So it makes sense. Yes, you can't drink in a park, but when you go to a Rockies game and you're sitting next to Jim, the redneck whatever, and he's got 2 beers in his hand and a hot dog and a thing of nachos sitting on his lap, and he's screaming and throwing beer around. I understand if I can't smoke there. There's the Clean Air Act. That makes sense. But there are designated smoking sections for tobacco. So why can't I go to that same area and puff on a legal bowl? If alcohol isn't legal to consume in public, what jurisdiction do sporting events or concerts fall under?
That's right. I'm with you.
If it doesn't violate the Clean Air Act, then what's the issue? If it does, there's the problem.
That's right.
Okay, you're inside, no smoking. Okay, get it. That's fine. But if you're outside, if you can go outside on a patio and smoke cigarettes and bring out your beer outside on the sidewalk, say at Herman's Hideaway, and talk to people on Broadway as they walk by, why can't you smoke a bowl? I mean, you're outside. Somebody's smoking a cigarette that is known to kill people. It even says so on the box. And you can hold your shot of Jim Beam, but if you smoke weed outside, you're smoking in public. So what? I don't know. What jurisdictions? Now, what are the absolute laws? See, we need Warren in here. I'm going to have to talk to him and try to get him on the show one night, even if it's on the phone.
We should try.
Yeah, we should. I'm going to see if, I don't know about next Monday. What are the law? What's the law currently on cannabis clubs? Like, yeah, but why? Did they have a reason behind it?
Well, there's two main factors, and then we'll take a break, but we'll definitely talk about this with Warren. One is the Clear Air Act. But the other is being able to get insurance for these events. There is no insurance that covers liability if someone has a marijuana-related accident.
Well, how can it not fall under the same as alcohol? I mean,
because alcohol is named as the item, and when you get insurance for parties and those kinds of things, and you say alcohol is being served, a $50 party permit or party policy becomes a $300 party policy. I mean, it's exponentially more. But we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to listen to the last couple scary stories.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whether you are a commercial grower or cultivate as a hobby, No Dough Urban Garden Supply is Denver's first stop for your hydroponic grow needs.
With a wide range of products including House and Garden, Botanicare, and Fox Farm, their knowledgeable staff can get you started on your first garden or help you with your well-established business. No Dough Urban Garden Supply is located in downtown Denver at 1330 27th Street, 4 blocks north of Coors Field near MMD of Colorado. They are open 6 days a week from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 303-296-3424 or visit them on the web at www.nodoughurbangardensupply.com.
You're listening to Reverend Jeremy and Georgia on iCannabisRadio.com.
Welcome back.
A girl heard her mom yell her name from downstairs, so she got up and started to head down. As she got to the stairs, her mom pulled her into her room and said, "I heard that too." She asked why I was breathing so heavily. I wasn't. My wife woke me up last night to tell me there was an intruder in our house. She was murdered by an intruder 2 years ago. I awoke to the sound of the baby monitor crackling with a voice comforting my firstborn child. As I adjusted to a new position, my arm brushed against my wife, sleeping next to me.
Oh, that gave me the creeps.
I always thought my cat had a staring problem. She always seemed fixated on my face, until one day when I realized that she was always looking just behind me.
Cats do that on purpose to scare you.
Last one is, there's nothing like the laughter of a baby, unless it's 1 a.m. and you're home alone.
Those were awesome. Thank you for doing those tonight. That was fun.
So I read them the other night because the title of the story is 20 Terrifying 2-Sentence Horror Stories. And it's like, bullshit. So I had to open it up and I read the first one and it's like, ooh. I read the second one and it just kept going.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy fuck, these are fucked.
Yeah.
These are kind of good.
Yeah.
And so it's like, wow. So right there in 2 sentences, I mean, just the title, 20 Terrifying 2-Sentence Horror Stories. 2-sentence horror stories. A whole complete story. You get enough information in 2 sentences.
I love it.
To know, hey, shit is fucked.
All right. So we got some fun things coming up over the next few weeks.
So,
I mean, besides Friday's holiday.
Well, what is Friday? The 14th? So the 15th. The 15th is a special day here in Denver at, the Pepsi Center?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a little band in town called, Imagine Dragons?
Yep.
Get to go see them. I bought tickets for that show in October on the pre-sale day when I was all broken and sitting on the couch. And so that was all I was listening to was a couple of those songs over and over and over. And so I got tickets for the show, and I guess it sold out super fast. And people are like, wow, you got tickets? And, yeah, why? So? Well, it sold out super fast. Yeah, and they were like $80 a ticket. So
I know.
I don't know what the big deal is. I can't believe that they sold out. I've listened to most of the album. I only really like 3 songs. The fuck, producer? But I'm excited.
I'm excited too. That was what we got Gavin for his birthday, was tickets.
Nice.
So the 3 of us. Nosebleeds, though. We did not get floor seats. Nosebleeds. He couldn't see on the floor anyway. I mean, it wouldn't be as fun. I mean, he could hear really well, but...
Yeah, you'd see a bunch of shoulders and backs.
Yeah.
And backs of heads. That's
backs of heads.
Not any fun.
Mm-mm.
So...
Mm-mm. It's going to be fun.
What else is going on?
We had to postpone our friend's bike and MJ. And MJ makes those wonderful lollipops I've told you guys about. And so we're going to have them on in a couple weeks. Talk about all kinds of things, tourism in Colorado. And they're great people to talk about making edibles and stuff as well, and their thoughts on testing. We'll definitely ask them some of those kinds of questions. We have our cannabis history lesson with Greg. He wasn't here for the month of February, so we'll have him in March. That's always a good time. We love having Greg on. It's just overall, it's going to be big bunch of fun.
Now, there's a good chance that I could be gone for the next 2 shows.
Okay.
I might be in California. So, but it's only a might right now. Who knows? I will know more hopefully
The show will
soon.
go on. Don't you worry, folks. The show will go on.
Correct.
Just won't be as funny.
Correct. Maybe I'll call in, though.
Yeah.
I've got it on my phone. I know how to play this. If you want to listen to this on your phone and you have an Android phone, make sure that you download the Photon browser for Android. And then there's a little tab up in the upper right-hand corner that's a lightning bolt. Push that, and that will activate the flash. And you can have this on your phone.
So cool.
For iPhone users, the app is called Puffin, and that's a browser that will allow Flash as well. I don't know much about it. I think you might have to pay for it.
You do. You have to pay for it. You get a little bit of a trial with Puffin, and then you have to pay for it, but it's not very expensive.
No. I think I even paid for the Photon browser just to have no ads. It was like $4 or something on some sales, so it's like for a whole year of no commercials. Even if I don't use this app anymore, I'm supporting no commercials. So I will throw down $4 for an app to not have commercials if
Absolutely.
I might use it in a year. So what else is going on?
We have the Adam Dunn Show on Wednesday from 11:30 to 1:30.
Speaking of Adam Dunn,
yes,
we had a very successful event on Friday nights for Jenny's birthday.
Yep.
The place was fucking packed.
Nice.
Packed. And it was snowy out. I mean, it had stopped, but it was snowy. It was slushy on the sidewalk. It was cold out, but we had heaters, and the place was warm inside and out. It was packed. It was insane.
That's awesome.
It was like, what was nice about it was that I got to enjoy kind of a redo without everyone coming up and hugging me and saying how sorry they were. It's like, well, it's been 6 months, you're all right. And everyone got to, it was fun.
Good.
It was nice. So lots of weed smoking, lots of hugs, lots of good times. So Adam Dunn for the Hood Lab, kudos, brother.
Absolutely. And then Hunt Connoisseur Magazine show from 4 to 5 on Thursday. If you're interested in doing a show, we're interested in talking to you. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely hard work, but I know we make it look like it's so easy. But if you're interested in a show, don't hesitate to contact us. You can contact us on the website. Just go to our Contact Us page and let us know what you're thinking, and we can tell you what it takes to be on this side of the microphone, because it's a good time. It's a really good time. If you're interested in advertising, you can do the same thing. We're happy to talk to you. I'm happy to talk to you.
I'm happy to talk to you, especially since it's been 2 weeks.
I know.
It was been since February.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
We're already, 1/3 of the way through March. Like, I'm moving to a new place in 3 weeks.
You are?
Yep.
I didn't hear this.
You just did. Surprise!
Right?
So
yay!
It'll be a little closer to here, but only by a few minutes. It's probably kind of by you, but we don't need to talk about any of that on.
I'll give addresses and phone numbers
on
later.
This thing here, right? 7.
Awesome.
I think we're down to 80 days until work weekend for Apo, so no pressure or anything. But
right.
I've got a monstrous temple to finish constructing. Progress is being made on that. We've started building. I've ordered materials or devices, if you will, for the ceremony for Friday or Saturday night, whichever night the temple burns. There's no point in holding out. I ordered 2 half a watt RGB laser animation machines.
Ooh.
So they're ILDA type machines, which is International Laser Display Association.
Cool.
So what's nifty about this is if they had them on over against the wall and it was shooting out this way, I could make a design that would be ideally a hologram and just hang out right here, and it would bounce towards you, and I can make it go back. I can animate a unicorn. Ooh. I could spell out Jenny's name.
Ooh.
So I'm going to put one on each temple and have it do its thing on the ground, and then I'm going to have fire performers in front performing, and then we're going to carry out the arc and walk through them and put it in its spot, and then when the performers are done, we'll take out the lasers, and we'll set it on fire.
Wow.
So it's just getting much cooler.
That sounds awesome.
And even made a little progress on finding out a little bit more about the laser harp. I really want a laser harp. I've wanted one for years, and I finally have got some shit figured out. Like $1,300, and I could have a fucking amazing laser harp.
Am I supposed to know what that is? Do other people know what this is? And I have no idea. Okay.
No. So don't worry. But if I can acquire one, I'll make it a reality and show people.
Okay.
And you can play with it too. It's fucking awesome.
I'm down.
So yep, that's kind of what's going on in my current little neck of the woods. So,
nice.
I am excited. Big things this year. The laser advancement, something I've been into since the Def Leppard Pour Some Sugar on Me video came out back when we were kids. But there were fucking green laser beams flying around, and it was amazing. And so I've wanted to do that ever since.
Of course.
So for the last 10 years, I've been acquiring laser machines. A little bit better each time. The ones I'm getting now make all my other ones obsolete, and it's like, fuck. Oh! Not entirely obsolete, because I've developed a new art project for this year's Apogea. Last year, I did the Dabtown Acid Art Project. As you might remember, it was 10 easels where I put a glow-in-the-dark canvas on each one and then made it into a big circle out there with rope light so you knew where it was. Set up the easels in the woods, tied a UV laser to the easel, and you could walk up in the middle of the night, grab the laser, and draw on the easel. Nobody knew what was going on. They're just like, oh, my God, this is magic. How is this happening? And it really is. It's really cool. But since I've got another project going this year, I'm trying to do a theme camp, but I've already thought of my first art project for said theme camp.
Yes.
The theme camp I'm going to call Camp Cushy, both with K's. And it's going to be like a soft, squishy, cushy kind of camp, but nothing. I've got a few ideas, but my first art piece is going to be glow-in-the-dark theater. Okay. So at the very least, I'm going to paint a 4-foot by 8-foot sheet of some kind of really nice plywood with glow-in-the-dark paint. And then I've got a 210 milliwatt 4-beam purple laser machine that I'm going to put in front of it. Now, it just shoots its beams and does its own crazy thing, so it's just going to write in UV laser on this giant movie screen. So when you're 10 sheets to the wind plaid on Thursday night, and the world is melting around you, and you're watching this fucking amazing movie for hours of laser art just being drawn right in front of you, it's going to be epic.
It sounds perfect. You're such a geek. I love it.
So there we go.
I love it. All right. Well, we're going to get going. It is time for us to thank our sponsors. Thanks, Edson, Mayton, and Matt's, Mile High Wellness.
I would like to thank trees for providing oxygen. I don't think that green things get enough credit for sponsoring human life. So thank you for allowing us to breathe.
I'm with you. Medical Marijuana of the Rockies, run on grass. I think I said Edson, Mayton, and Matt's twice. I'll say them 3 times.
You might as well. Because
they're cute. At least the Edson part is.
I don't know who Mayton is. I have not met.
She's wonderful.
Met that person yet, but Matt's is my current buddy. Mr. Edson's my extremely knowledgeable buddy, and so 2 lawyer friends are fucking great to have, and they're both stationed in this building.
That's right. Well, thank you guys so much, and we will be back next week.
Maybe.
Yes, I will be.
Somebody will be here, we promise.
I'll be here,
and I will try to call in. So if I'm here, great. If not, well, I will talk to you guys soon.
Sounds good. Bye.
Bye.